Hi guys, and welcome to the ColorIt Christmas Special with your ColorIt guides, Lucy and May. The pandemic has brought about so many challenges for everybody this year, but despite the pandemic, ColorIt was able to produce and create beautiful books like Blissful Scenes 2, Fashion Through the Ages, Majestic Horses, and special projects like greeting cards and the 2021 calendar.
Today, we'll be flipping through our most powerful book yet, Goddesses, just in time for the holidays. So, you may all be familiar with the artist for this book, fan favorite Hasby Mubarok, who is also the same artist for Steampunk, Tropical Scenes, and many other beloved ColorIt coloring books. That being the case, we're super excited to share this coloring book with you all.
Xochitl Quetzal is our front cover goddess because she's often seen with butterflies, and ColorIt's insignia, as everybody knows, is the butterfly. So of course we had to place her as our front cover goddess. On the back is the Greek goddess Gaia, who we all know is Mother Earth.
So, as with all our ColorIt coloring books, Goddesses has all the standard book features that you have all come to know and love, including our hardback front and back covers, top spiral binding, artist quality pages, the blotter page, and 50 original hand-drawn designs. You can find these in our table of contents. Here on our table of contents, you can see different types of goddesses of all different origins, namely the Aztec, Egyptian, Chinese, Indian, Irish, Scandinavian, Roman, and of course, Greek goddesses.
So as you can see in the Belongs To page, there are a lot of elements of the Greek goddess Athena. The owl is her symbol, and in the argument with Poseidon over one of the Greek cities, Athens, she won the people over by gifting them olives. In one of her tales, she also created the Gorgon, Medusa. Each goddess has tons of stories behind them, and we can't wait to share them with you.
So, as you're all pretty familiar by now, with any ColorIt coloring book, you get a blotter page that you can tear out and use to protect your drawings. This is especially useful when you use your alcohol markers so that none of the color bleeds through. On this specific blotter page, we have a QR code here that you can scan to get access to freebies and discounts. There are also 3 different goddesses on this blotter page. Let's get to know these goddesses a little bit more. Hey May, can you tell us a little bit about them?
Minerva is the Roman goddess of 1,000 works, the Roman equivalent to Athena. Sarasvati is the Hindu goddess of knowledge, music, science, and art. And Xochitl Quetzal, our cover Aztec goddess, is the goddess of fertility, love, beauty, and art.
So let's flip through all of the goddesses. First off, we have Venus. She's known as the Roman goddess of love, beauty, prosperity, and victory. Mat is the Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, and order. Indrani is the Hindu goddess, queen of the gods, and goddess of wrath. Brigid is a Celtic goddess of healing, poetry, and smithscraft. Chang'e is the Chinese goddess of love and weaving. Chantiko is the Aztec goddess of volcanoes and fire. Diana is the Roman goddess of hunting and wild animals. Sarasvati is the Hindu goddess of knowledge, music, science, and art. Dorala is a Celtic goddess of girls in the rain. Sol is a Norse goddess and the personification of the sun. As you can see, she pulls the sun on a horse-drawn carriage. She's also worshipped as the goddess of protection and victory. Chang'e is a Chinese goddess of the moon. Persephone is the Greek goddess of rebirth, springtime, and the underworld.
Koatlikuwe is the Aztec goddess of rivers and lakes.
Hathor is the Egyptian goddess of joy, feminine love, and motherhood. Guan Yin is the Chinese goddess of mercy and compassion who became the patron for sailors and fishermen. Iris is the Greek goddess, one of the messengers of the gods, and goddess of the rainbow. Sif is the Norse goddess of the earth, family, and fertility. Morana is the Slavic goddess of death, winter, and the night. Demeter is the Greek goddess of agriculture and the harvest.
Its papalotl is the Aztec goddess of birth and death.
Isis is the Egyptian goddess, queen of the gods, goddess of magic, protection, and marriage. Kali is the Hindu goddess of time, darkness, and death. Seridwen is a Celtic goddess of inspiration, prophecy, and creation. Fortuna is the Roman goddess of chance and fortune. Nugua is the Chinese goddess that is responsible for the creation of human beings. Kostroma is the Slavic goddess of science, fertility, and fruitfulness.
Koatlikuwe is the Aztec mother of gods, and she's often depicted with a skirt made of snakes. Morrigan is the Celtic goddess of war, the cycle of birth and death, revenge, water, and magic. Durga is the Hindu goddess and protector of the righteous. Minerva is the Roman goddess of craftsmen, professions, art, and war. Aditi is the Hindu goddess of limitlessness and the creator of the earth. Artemis is the Greek goddess of the hunt, wild animals, and the moon. Sekhmet is the Egyptian goddess of destruction and protector of pharaohs going to war. She's also the lioness goddess. Ire is the Celtic goddess of Ireland. She is the personification of Ireland. Gaia is the Greek goddess of the earth. She is mother of all gods and monsters. As you can see here, we're so excited we just had to color in some of the pages. Bastet is the Egyptian goddess of cats and the protector of the dead. Frigg is the queen of the Norse gods. She is the goddess of marriage and motherhood. Aphrodite is the Greek goddess of love and beauty. Freya is the Norse goddess of love, beauty, and magic. Parvati is the Hindu goddess of fertility, love, devotion, and marriage. Proserpina is the Roman goddess of the underworld. Danu is the Celtic goddess of earth, fertility, wisdom, and the wind. Nephthys is the Egyptian goddess of the air. Malinachuatzal is the Aztec goddess of snakes, scorpions, and the desert. Hestia is the Greek goddess of familial hearth and home, family, fire, and the state. Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of prosperity, wealth, beauty, and purity. Juno is the Roman goddess of childbirth, women, fertility, sovereignty, and the moon. Hel is the Norse goddess of the dead and the queen of the underworld. Nut is the Egyptian personification of the sky. And lastly, our cover goddess, Xochiquetzal, the Aztec goddess of beauty and art.
We've asked one of our in-house artists, Patrick, to color in one of the most beautiful goddesses known on Earth, the Greek goddess Aphrodite. As many of you know, Aphrodite is the Greek goddess of love and beauty. But as many of you may not know, she was born from the white foam produced by the severed genitals of Uranus.
Wow, the severed genitals of Uranus.
I mean, I was pretty shocked too, but guess you can say we all came from genitals. Though maybe not severed ones.
Mythology is really out there.
It's very, very entertaining. You're gonna learn a lot from this book, everybody.
That's really awesome though, to recount history like that.
As you color in the pages. Anyway, as I was saying, she was born from the white foam produced by the severed genitals of Uranus after his son, Cronus, threw them into the sea. Aphrodite was, in fact, widely worshipped as a goddess of the sea and seafaring, but she's better known as the goddess of love and even presided over marriage ceremonies. Hey May, if you were a goddess, what do you think you'd be known for?
That's a tough question, but I think I'd be known for being headstrong. So I think I'd kind of be like Athena.
I think I too would like to be Aphrodite.
Well, who doesn't want to be the goddess of love and beauty? Two things that are like magic on Earth. That's deep. That's pretty deep. Yeah.
Anyway, so Aphrodite is the Greek equivalent of the Roman goddess Venus. As you can see, the way this page is composed is actually inspired by a famous Renaissance painting by Botticelli called The Birth of Venus.
And look at that. Isn't what Patrick colored really beautiful? I mean, I wish I had Patrick's talent for coloring.
Same here. Every time I see Patrick's coloring, I'd like to claim them as my own. Sadly, my hand is totally different from Patrick's hand, so...
I guess it's now my turn to color a page. So I chose to color Chang'e, the Chinese goddess of the moon. I chose her because I recently watched the movie Over the Moon on Netflix, and I loved that movie so much that when I saw Chang'e's page, I knew I had to color her. Chang'e's story is actually a love story, and while there are many versions of how she got to the moon, the one that sticks out is this one. In a very distant past, 10 suns had risen together into the skies and scorched the earth, thus causing hardship for the people. Chang'e's husband, the archer Hoyi, shot down 9 of the suns, leaving just one, and was given the elixir of immortality as a reward. He didn't consume it right away, but let Chang'e keep it with her, as he didn't want to gain immortality without his beloved wife. One day, while Hoyi went out hunting, a thief broke into his house to steal the elixir. Chang'e refused, and to prevent the thief from getting it, she drank the elixir. Chang'e immediately floated upward towards the heavens, but she chose the moon as her residence, so she would still be close to her husband, Hoyi. Hoyi discovered what had happened, and deeply saddened, he displayed the fruits and cakes that Chang'e had liked and gave sacrifices in her honor. The Chinese community still commemorates Chang'e's story through the Chinese Mid-Autumn Moon Festival, where families gather together and eat mooncakes.
That was such a lovely story, May. I think it's really awesome that even after thousands of years, they still commemorate Chang'e's story today.
Like we said, each goddess has her own story to tell, and if you want to learn more, let us know which goddess you'd like to get to know more about. We're so excited to see your take on these lovely goddesses. If you've completed a page, don't hesitate to send it to us at support@colorit.com.
We'd like to give a shout out to the admins of the ColorIt Coloring Books group on Facebook, and a special thank you to Nicole J. Williams Ford for initiating a weekly color along that we can all enjoy. If you haven't yet, go ahead and join the group to be part of the coloring community. We'll see you on the next flip-through video for our last book of 2020, Delightful Desserts and Sweet Treats. So this has been Lucy
And May,
and may you
lose your inhibitions
and free your creativity.
until next time.
Bye-bye!
Bye!